Introduce you to the latest addition to our global family of nations, the 196th country on Earth for keeping track. It's called CHAZ. CHAZ's gleaming capital rises from land that once belonged to an indigenous but now nearly extinct tribe known as the Seattle Police Department. As with so many great nations, the creation story of CHAZ holds innumerable lessons for all of us. It's a tale of unlikely good fortune and the triumph of perseverance over hardship. How do a group of people with no useful skills, no record of achievement or personal hygiene, a group capable of smashing windows and setting fires but nothing else, how do a group like that create an entirely new nation? Well, that's a question we may soon face here in the United States, in fact, given our current trajectory. It's never easy to build things with people who can only destroy. And yet, CHAZ pulled it off. With grit and determination, this plucky little nation managed to give birth to itself, and in the process, a whole new era of democratic self-government. Okay, that's overstatement. They haven't actually built anything in CHAZ. It's still mostly graffiti and discarded Starbucks cups. Nor is it fully a democracy. In fact, the country is run by a warlord/rapper called Raz, whose last paying job was renting out his own apartment on Airbnb. It is, in other words, a work in progress. But CHAZ does have one functioning institution. It's a Department of Agriculture. It's up and running. Chazastanis are a proud, independent people, and they plan to feed themselves. Take a look at CHAZ's first collective farm. No, it's not Kansas at harvest time. You don't see swaying fields of wheat, but it's a start. The farmers of CHAZ have big dreams. They imagine several more square feet of kale and organic scallions planted in Dixie cups, and of course cannabis. Lots and lots of stinky indica buds for the people. The Chazastanis may not know a lot about agriculture, but they have heart. As they often say as they work the fields, if they could do it in Jonestown, we can do it here. Naturally, officials in nearby Washington state have become bitterly jealous of this thriving breakaway republic. 2 days ago, Jay Inslee, the small-minded governor of Washington, pretended he had never even heard of CHAZ.
I'd like to ask you about what's going on in Seattle. There's this thing called the Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone. What's your thought on that? The fact that the protesters have taken that over and not allowing people to come and go freely? And then regarding the National Guard.
Well, that's news to me, so I'll have to reserve any comment about it. I have not heard anything about that.
Never heard of CHAZ? As if. Come on, Governor, show us the search history on your phone. Every idealistic young pioneer in this country has been compulsively Googling CHAZ for days, and you haven't? Please. It's ridiculous. The media, meanwhile, and not surprisingly, have missed the story completely. They're pretending CHAZ isn't even a real country. They're calling it a street fair.
Hundreds of demonstrators have been gathering in what is being described as part protest zone, part commune, part street festival.
You know, the president calls them anarchists, and somebody could call it anarchy, but it's more so to the extent that you could call it a community takeover, suggesting that the U.S. military would use force. We're talking about 6 blocks here. This is the Capitol Hill neighborhood in the heart of Seattle, and we're talking about a 6-block area. It's much more of a pedestrian street fair type atmosphere. You have the food trucks that are open. The favorite taco shop is open. There's couches that are out there.
Food trucks and a taco shop? The people on television pretend this proud, independent nation is some kind of ethnic food festival. No corporate stooges. This isn't about piñatas and dunk tanks. This is nationhood. CHAZ has teeth. CHAZ can bite back, as one cable news reporter discovered.
Remember, they want to see this police department defunded or even abolished. Short of some type of major concession, they're not going to leave voluntarily. And we should point out that Washington is an open carry state. And no doubt, some of these protesters are armed, Anderson. So you have to worry about the potential for bloodshed, the potential for violence.
Hear that, CHAZ deniers? CHAZ has guns. King Raz merely has to say the word, and his country's crack special forces teams will emerge like ninjas from the shadows. You may not even recognize them as soldiers. Some may look homeless. Others may be injecting narcotics or shoplifting. But make no mistake, this army means business. They rolled over the Seattle Police Department like Cortez conquering the Aztecs. They'll do it to you too, CNN. Watch out. Radio host Jason Rantz is our man on the ground just across the demilitarized zone from CHAZ. He joins us tonight. Jason, thanks so much for coming on. Were you able to cross the border today?
Well, I have to tell you that they actually realized that their border was quite porous. There were some cops who were able to get through, so they refortified the borders that are there so that they could keep some of these police invaders from coming actually into their nation. So it's a little bit more difficult than usual to get in, but they have actually confirmed that they are in fact armed and they're keeping track of people who are coming in and out of their nation. So they're taking their security as this burgeoning nation very seriously, but they're obviously also having some problems, as you just showed. What appears to be a farm that was put together by Michael Bloomberg. It literally looks like topsoil on top of ground that they haven't even dug up. And they realize that maybe it's going to take a little bit longer for them to actually grow some of the food. So they have a list of some requests.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're looking for some food, Gatorade, also cigarettes, of course, and they're realizing that maybe they don't have enough residents who are willing to do some of the cleanup. So, of course, the city came in and actually cleaned some of the porta potties that were actually delivered by the city to this new nation. So, I mean, it's a good thing that Seattle is stepping up and giving some help.
There are already NGOs on the ground? I mean, this sounds more like a refugee camp than it does a proud independent nation.
Look, what independent nation hasn't gone through some of these growing pains, right? It's going to, they don't really even have a leader. In fact, now I know we mentioned Raz Simone, there's some concern that he doesn't actually represent everyone. And it turns out there hasn't been an election. Maybe there will be. Perhaps they'll ask for IDs for people to vote. So I, as a South Lake Union resident of Seattle, don't get a say in picking their leader, but we'll see.
May I ask, you said at the outset that CHAZ has fortified its borders. Did anybody point out that that's racist? I mean, I'm pretty sure that's racist. Borders are racist, right?
Borders are racist, but they're progressive Seattleites and they're very woke. So obviously, if they're doing it, it can't be racist.
It still seems racist to me. Huh. You think you'll be able to get in tomorrow, over the weekend?
That's your privilege.
Yeah.
I will try to get in over the weekend. We'll see what it actually looks like. I'm going to try to not get a contact high as I'm walking through, as was the case yesterday. There was a lot of weed being smoked there, and someone actually walked up to us and they said, "Where can we smoke?" And I said, "It's CHAZ. I think you can pretty much smoke wherever it is you want."
Yes, you can. That's the America they're planning for us. Jason Rantz, outside CHAZ on the DMZ. Good to see you tonight. Thank you.